Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Flaminia, a native from Italy, and thank you for clicking on this video. It has been almost a month since I've recorded my last podcast episode, and I feel a bit rusty, so I apologize for that, but I have a lot to share. I feel like my knitting mojo has been slowly getting better and kicking in finally. So happy, and I think I have nothing else to say, so let's just get into it. Oh no, I apologize for my hair. I don't know, I don't feel good about them, but so I'll probably be touching them a lot, but don't mind that. So I will start with the first finished objects because we have more than one this episode, but you'll understand why in a couple of minutes. So this is my second Sandro Pullover, and it's my first ever knitting pattern. It's available for you to purchase on Ravelry, and I've been and I am currently running a knit along for this. I think the knit along ends around the 20 something of May, but you don't have to complete the whole jumper, so you're definitely still in time to enter the knit along if you want. It's on Instagram, and we also have a group chat on Instagram, and it has been amazing to see the progress of other people. It's so fun. And also, the butter yellow trend going on. I have seen on Ravelry so many yellow versions of the Sandro, and I'm like, it's so crazy from the designer perspective, actually seeing the trends in your own patterns. That's crazy. That's really crazy. And yeah, so this is again Sandro Pullover. This is size 3, which is the size I'm in usually. It has a European shoulder construction. I'm not sure if I'm able to show you. I mean, yeah, maybe. I'll just, oops. You cast on at the back neck, and then you work increases. Look how gorgeous these gables are. And then you work down, and you pick up stitches from the shoulders, and you work some short rows. Then, all the, increase for the neck, join in the round. Then for the sleeves, we also have some short rows shaping, which I feel like looks very nice. And yeah, this is it. We have a folded over collar, and I've already talked about this, but you can see how the purl row, it's sticking a bit to the front and not exactly at the top, but that doesn't bother me too much. It's just because I have used a different method for attaching it down that I've never used before, so I feel like that was the reason. And yeah, and for this version I made the sleeves a bit wider, at the cuff, not on purpose, just because I forgot to do decreases. I was just working on it, and I was like, you know what, I don't care. And yeah, I just did the same on the second sleeve. Yeah, to be honest, I think they're just a couple of stitches bigger, but I thought I'd mention it. And today's so warm. I have a dress underneath this. I'll probably take it off when I will be just way too warm, but it's 27 degrees outside, and I don't know if it's because I've lived in Scotland for 4 months in the fall, but you guys, this is warm. It's almost 30 degrees, and it's not even 30 degrees, and it's already very warm. And how will I survive in the summer? I've been surviving my whole life, because that's not living, that's surviving. I've been surviving my whole life, but I don't know if I will survive this summer. But I guess I'll just stay at home and write my thesis. That's really the only option. But anyways, yeah, this is what it looks like. Let me show it to you. And yeah, I just love this color. It's my first brown jumper, and I feel like there is no brown that is more perfect than this for what I like. This is very cool, and I feel like it's showing up a bit warmer on camera, but I think it's because of the reflection of the sunlight. Like it is a bit more like this, you know, a bit cooler, but it is showing up pretty well. Like it's pretty dark, but the stitch definition is fire. So yeah, of course, I would really recommend this pattern because, you know, I wrote it up and it is just how I like it. So of course I do, but you know, if you're curious, go check out all the new projects on Ravelry because they are just amazing. And if you want to take part in a knit along, go ahead. Oh, and just a little, yeah, and it's not cheating, but there will be a discount on my Ravelry for my birthday, which is the 8th of May. So if you want to purchase the pattern, maybe wait for that if you want. Just throwing it out there because I've seen, you know, other people doing discounts on their birthday. So I'll be turning 21 and I think it would be nice. So yeah, that will happen. Anyways, this has been in so many, you know, episodes in the past. So I feel like I don't really have to talk about it too much. But you can always reference some old podcasts. Or I'm sorry, this dress really doesn't have the most pleasant fit, but it is my summer dress. Like when everything else is too warm to wear, I wear this. Problem is it's only 27 degrees, so yeah, really, how will I survive? I don't know, but it's a problem for me in the future. Then next finished objects are some socks. Who am I? I don't know what happened, but I was in a sock kick and I finished 2 pairs of socks. Like I had 1 sock done, so I finished 3 socks and repaired 1 sock that I worn a hole in, but I thought I'd show you. So this is my little sock collection. We're at quota 3. We have 3, and this I made last year, and this is the one I wore a hole into because it was soaking wet because it was, I don't know, I was in the middle of a torrential rain in Rome, and I don't know, yeah, and I kept taking my shoes on and off because my feet were cold and I was just trying to warm it up. But I feel like, you know, when your hair are wet, they're more fragile. I think it's the same with yarn. So I just wore a big hole into the back, you know, right where the shoe hits. But I don't know. I searched how to repair socks. I don't know. Seems pretty sturdy to me, but we'll see if this stands the test of time. It doesn't look like, because this is a bit worn. I've worn this a lot, but this is the same yarn, just this is new. I feel like it looks a bit lighter, and you can see the one on the cuff that it's less used, you know, looks lighter and brighter. So yep, this is the first pair that I ever successfully knitted in a fingering weight gauge. And then with the leftover of those socks, I knitted this pair, which I'm a bit shook because, you know, with self-striping yarn and stuff, this is a real one, so it's quite rustic, but you know, that's not the point. With these type of self-striping yarn, you don't really know what you're going to get. And with the first one, which I don't even remember which it was, maybe this one, I was like, oh, I actually really like it, how like it plays with the heel flap and stuff. So I really want to see a different part of the yarn on the heel flap and see how that works up. And I was like, yeah, let's do it differently. Guys, I don't know how I did it, but basically they're almost exactly the same, which is something I've never seen, and I wasn't even trying, so maybe I should just stop trying. I don't know, like, can you see? Like, they're very, very similar. Like, I can put them like this, and you see the stripes. They align almost perfectly, you know. Like, that shook me. I was like, you know, I don't really believe in God per se, but I was like, maybe there is some knitting God out there in the universe that is like, she deserves to have matching socks. I don't know how that happened. And I only had, I don't know, maybe 45 grams or like 47, something like that, less than 50. And I had used contrast thingies for that, you know, contrast heel, cuffs and toes. And I was like, I don't want to, because I just worn a hole in that sock. So I was like, I want to have a reinforced heel in these ones. And also I like the heel flopping as more, how it fits, and you know, the whole process of knitting it. Procedure. I'm watching a lot of Dr. House, so it's like procedure. No, it's not a medical procedure, it's a knitting process. But anyways, the knitting process was very nice. And I forgot why I was saying this. Yeah, and like I have 0 yarn left, and they finished basically at the same point with the same stripe, like on the same row of the toe. It ran out. That's crazy. And this is just some, I think it's Drops baby merino that I gifted my mom, and she made a cardigan in it, and I was like, can I just have a little tiny bit? She was like, sure. So yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. But so yeah, these are, I think, 56 stitches cast on, and I always work the top in 3mm needles, which is quite a lot for fingering weight socks, but it's just because I feel like that works better with, like, in passing it up on my heel, I guess, on top of my heel. So I did 2x2 cuff because I feel like that's stretchier, and then 3x1 basically everything other than, you know, at the bottom, because I don't want to have the little, like, I don't know, I feel like sensory wise it would be weird to have ribbing at the sole of my socks. So yeah, this is it. I feel like it looks really clean, and this or the other one is the first sock that I've managed to not have a hole while picking up the stitches. Yeah, because here I have a little hole in one of the, can you see here? In one of the sides. I feel like in the, which one? In the SSK side, I have a hole, while in the Knit Together side, I don't. Which, yeah, I don't really know the science behind it, but I feel like it looks really neat because I think this is a bit of a sturdier and thicker, like it's not thicker in weight, but it's a bit more consistent and a bit more rustic. So I feel like the stitches look neater and they're a bit closer together compared to my next pair of socks. So in the last episode, I only had the first one of these finished. Then I finished the second one. Boom, I defeated second sock syndrome. I'm proud. And then, since last time, I made a whole new pair. Like, this was in progress, but I just started the first one in the last episode. These are the Togetherness socks. I don't remember the name of the designer, but it will be written on screen and in the description box. You can see how the stitches look more open in this yarn, which is Velcolana Arvetta in the color Ballerina. And yeah, these are those. And I'm also happy with like me eyeballing like what half of the thing is. I didn't really eyeball it, but I kinda eyeballed it. Like I just said 50, like no, I only had 50 grams, so I was like divided in 25 and 25, so it was like 25 cut. I don't care, like, because I want them to be the same regardless of whether they're the right size. Like, of course I would have hoped like that, like I was hoping that they would have turned out the right size, you know. But yeah, things. And so I did it, and this was the first one. So I did it, and I had like this much of the 25 gram mini ball that I wound up. I was like, ooh, that's a nice feeling. That's very nice feeling. And so this is it. This is the first one. Then at the second one, I made a mistake, kinda. And you know, when you pick up stitches at the heel flap, and then you do the gusset. At the end of the gusset, you want to have, ideally, or like if it fits your foot, but usually the pattern wants you to have, like if you have 64 stitches here, you want to have 64 stitches here. But in my mind, like I was like, yeah, I have to have 34 stitches, which is not the half of 64, you know, half of 64 is 32, but I was like, I just need to get to 34 and then I can start knitting the foot. And then I was like, no, wrong. But I just found out when I was, let me see, where is it? Yeah, when I was here, you know, so I've done the majority of it already. So I was like, I'm not gonna rip back. I don't think that's going to matter so much. It did matter because when I was, can you tell here, I ran out, okay? And I was devastated, and I decided I wasn't going to go back because I was like, maybe that's not the point. Maybe I just didn't have enough. I don't know. I don't really know, but that's a possibility that's why I ran out for this one. And I decided to work with Drops Daisy, which is a DK, so you can see the difference in gauge. So this is like cardboard hard, and but I feel like I've tried it on and it's not too uncomfortable, and I really wanted this pair of socks to be also pretty. Like I just didn't want to have a different color toe, you know. I'm just a girl, so yeah, I just went with the Drops Daisy. And like actually I tried like how's it called, like dividing the Drops Daisy into two just by applying the plies and knitting with those, and it worked. But then I don't know, it was all tangling up, and yeah, I decided, you know what, I hope it's not going to matter a lot in the end. And you know, I think, yeah, the Arvetta is a superwash yarn and the Daisy it's not. But if it's really, really bad, I'll just like cut off the toe and just knit it with another yarn, a superwash yarn. And to be honest, it's so tight that I highly doubt it's going to felt more than like felt and be actually tighter than what it actually is. So I think that's good. So I've talked a lot about socks, which is very different if you're used to my podcast, but I hope you enjoyed them, because I have I'm challenging myself to knit 5 pairs of socks in 2025, and I think Morgan Unravel is doing it, and I really recommend you to go watch her because she's really nice to watch, and I love all of her projects she's doing. It's very, very nice to watch. And she's doing it. I was like, let's do it. So I'm at quota 2 out of 5, and it's May, so I feel like I'm good. I don't know what my next pair of sock is going to be. Either another self-striping one, or maybe with the only skein of hand-dyed yarn I have. Yeah, but I don't know, I'm just focusing on other stuff right now. So let's go into the whips. I don't really know where I should start, maybe from the newest one. So I've casted this on 2 days ago and I haven't knitted today. So this was like 2 days of progress, but I didn't just work on this, and you know, I also studied, because that's what your girl has to do. So it was very like, it wasn't rushed, it was very chill. But this is what it is looking like. Look at this. So this is, if you cannot tell and if you haven't watched my plans video, this is the Lace Pullover by Ozetta. And I'm knitting it in this super bright, oh my god, purple color that is Cascade 220, non-superwash, like the classic one, in the shade Italian Plum, which I don't really know what that means. Like, what do you mean Italian plum? But you know, not everything has to make sense. But as you can see, like I just joined in the round because I joined in the round at 1 a.m. yesterday night, like, or morning, whatever, you know, at 1 a.m. in the morning. So I was really tired. So I was like, I don't feel like knitting another round. So yep, this is it. So it's a saddle shoulder construction if you're not familiar with it. You start by knitting these two rectangles separately, and you put the stitches on hold, and then you pick up stitches for the back, and like you pick up from here and then you cast on your stitches, then you pick up from here and you work short rows, which I feel like looks really nice and clean. And then basically you do the same thing for the front, but you just, you know, you don't cast on stitches right away because you want the front neck to be lower, so you work some shaping while working the short rows, and then, you know, blah blah blah, you join. I feel like this construction goes really fast because you have the bias of the saddle shoulders. They go really fast, but that, like, they make a significant amount of the back yoke and the front yoke. So when you actually get to them, you're like, well, it's super fast. You know, I didn't have to knit a lot before joining it around. So yeah, it's the same amount of knitting, but you know, it's a bit biased, but I feel like I like it. And it's really weird because the lighting, like today, is really bright, and I feel like it's washing my contrast out. Like, I'm more like this in real life. I'm not like this. Like, you know, my hair color is quite dark, and my, you know, my features are quite high contrast. But if you see like this, like all this part of my face, it's like light brown. So when I put this up, like, it really fits on this part of my face, but it kind of washes me out on this part of my face. But, you know, thankfully I know what I look like. So I feel like this color will be fire, especially in the winter. But, you know, I love knitting off season, clearly. And I really, like, I'm knitting this on 5.5 millimeter needles, like it's a worsted weight. But I'm knitting it on 5.5 because I'm a tight knitter. And this went by so fast, you know. Crazy compared to fingering and DK. That went really fast. And I'm doing size, like the third size, and I was debating whether doing the third or the fourth size, because I think I was one stitch off engage in my swatch. But like, this is not a super dense fabric. Like, it's not see-through, but it's not super dense, so I feel like I could block it out more when I'm actually finished, and I didn't have enough yarn to go to the fourth size. So yeah, I feel like, you know, it's just an oversized sweater, so you don't, like, the fit doesn't have to be super precise, but so I feel like it will work. Next, I feel like I want to finish this little cake on the body, and then I'll pick up for the collar because that looks super squishy and polished and I really like it. And then maybe pick up for one of the sleeves. But you know, it's just really new, and yeah, I've worked a lot on this, and I feel like it will be a bit depressing to go back to fingering weight. So fingering weight, why, you may ask? Because I don't know if you remember, but I did a test haul for this pattern of mine. I mean, hopefully it will be, if it works out, but I feel like it will. I don't know, we'll see. But I really wanted to do the test haul, but I was planning to, like, you know, finish it and block it and doing the test haul, but I wanted this dress to be midi length because that's also an option in the pattern. But you know, you can knit it as long as you want, but I wanted to get the pattern going in the meantime. So sorry if you're not familiar, it's getting a bit long. This doesn't have an official name yet, And thank you so much for all the suggestions you left in the comments of the last video. Someone suggested like the lily something dress, you know, like the flower, because the skirt, especially on this sample because it's white, really looks like the petals of a lily just like upside down, and I really like that. So we'll see. I still have to ponder and like doing some research on Instagram and things like for hashtags and stuff. So this is how it looks like. It is all over 2x2 broken rib. It has these bow straps. Actually, I'm adding more options to the pattern than what I started with already. So in the pattern, we will have bow straps with thin I-cords, or you know, just traditional straps with thin I-cord, the same but with a thicker I-cord, or the same but with a double knitted strap. That's a whole thing. So yeah, lots of options. So this is the bow straps with the thin I-cord because that's how I like it better. But you definitely have choice. You start off with the triangles, and then you join in the round and you work hip decreases. This has 16 centimeters of negative ease, so it's quite form-fitting, and I wanted it to be like to really hug your figures. So you have hip decreases, then you have it's in the back. Oh my god, my English is really bad. Optional, no, there's no H. Optional German short rows, just to make them like if you need it. If your store-bought skirts usually right up in the back, that's what these are for. So that is very nice touch in my opinion. Then we have hip increases, and we have this like round skirt type of shaping like this, and it looks really nice. I'll put up a picture. I also have a black version that just will remain as it is, mini, because I like that too, but I don't know, I feel like this would look quite whimsical like this, and my testers are doing a really good job. There has been like a couple of issues just with the like minor issues with stitch counts and stuff, and also I don't know, this is, sorry, didn't mention it, but this pattern is made to measure. So we've also, like with help of one tester in particular, we've set up a, you know, an Excel that you can just put like a spreadsheet where you can put all your measurements and stuff, and like it just spits out the numbers you need without you actually having to do the calculations. Like there are all the formulas in the Google Doc, but you will also, if I can make this happen, because I'm really not good at like doing these things, but a link to this thing that you can hopefully download into like print a copy of that, not printing, making a copy of that so you can save it on like your Google sheet, and you can then modify it and input the numbers, hopefully. But yeah, and I'm making it longer. So since last time I added this much, which is a bit discouraging, I have to be honest, but you know, I had to study quite a bit, and I went to visit my boyfriend, and I usually knit quite a lot on the train, but I was really tired, so I really didn't knit a lot. But yeah, I feel like slowly but truly I can make this long. I can do this. And I still have quite a lot of yarn left, because when I ordered yarn to start this, I knew I was wanting to have it, midi length. So I have a lot of yarn in my stash to just make it look as long as I want. So that's the round skirt dress for now, but maybe next episode I will have decided on the name. but I've started another one. So in the pattern, you will also have a section on, you know, how you can like attach this skirt shaping to a top pattern you already have and you like. Kinda like either a sweater or a tank or a vest or a blouse if it works. So another spreadsheet just for that, and lots of things for that. And I wanted, you know, a version to showcase that. And I am knitting. Look, yeah, it's, wow, that red would be gorgeous. It's actually not that color. Like, I feel like it's showing up a lot warmer, like of a warmer red in camera. Yeah, it's just really bright red, kind of magenta leaning though. And I'm modifying the Sweetheart Revenge dress by Friday Knits that I had tested like 2 years ago, and I loved it. I still love it. And so yeah, imagine this, but you know, without the how's it called, the like just with straps and not with sleeves, and with the round skirt. Like, I feel like that would be so romantic. Like, imagine this on Valentine's Day. Oh my god, I have a vision. Like, yeah, I hope and no, I don't think my boyfriend is watching because like he has other things to do. But when we first got together, he used to be a very like serial watcher. That sounds bad, but you know, he used to put my podcast in the background while he was like playing video games and like doing other stuff on the PC. But you know, so maybe I could wear this on our anniversary, which is in August, in late August. So could be quite cute. And also, oh my god, listen up. I will hopefully be graduating soon, like technically in October, but I think the ceremony will be more towards like March or late April. So, you know, maybe one of these two I could wear to my graduation, but I don't know, you know, I'm not like an quirky, artsy degree. You know, I'm in a business school, like School of Economics, so yeah, I don't know if this fits the vibe, but it would be quite cute. But maybe I'll just go with the classic, like in Italy we do usually like a tracksuit.
Hello, the editing Flaminia here, just to clarify that I'm a bit stupid and we definitely don't do track suits on our graduation day. We just do suits, you know, with a blazer and a dress pants. Yeah, sorry, just my bilingualism, I guess. My mind is playing tricks at me, I'm sorry.
For the graduation, at least for, you know, the ceremony at the university. And then you do a party. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do that, but yeah, like this could be, I would be such an icon in this. I don't know if I'll do it, but I would be such an icon. But yeah, so I don't, you know, the pattern as it is the Sweetheart Revenge dress, it's just 2x2 rib, but I'm making it 2x2 broken rib just because I like it a lot and it kind of resembles the, you know, the original one. And it has this like sweetheart neckline. I don't know how that is called. You know, this type of neckline, and I'm knitting it in a 100% mercerized cotton, so it's like, it's not heavy, but you know, this is like one skein minus the swatch, but I didn't make a huge swatch. Yeah, so this is almost one skein and it's not a lot of progress. I'm not sure what weight this is. It's kind of a sport DK something, and I'm knitting it on, oh really, on 4? I'm knitting it on 4mm needles. I didn't know. I thought it was 3.5, but anyways, on 4mm. Oh yeah, because I'm a tight knitter, so on 4. And then maybe for the skirt I'll switch to 4.5, just to make it go by a little bit quicker, and just to not, you know, if you go up a needle size you use less yarn, so it makes it less heavy. But you know, we'll see. It's a problem for me in the future. I didn't really work on it too much. I think next I'll attach the straps so I can try it on and figure out the waist shaping and stuff. But you know, this kind of ribbed what's it called, motif is optional. But why would you decide not to include this? Because like this gives mermaid vibe and I love it so much. And I am wondering, like, maybe because this is cotton and I don't want it to stretch it out too much, maybe I'll try to apply an I-cord here at the top. I was thinking of an elastic, but I don't know, maybe an I-cord will be nice too. I don't know, we'll see. We will see. But I'm knitting the first size because I'm off gauge, so I feel like it should work. Then actually I'm done. That's weird. Like, I'm done, but I have one swatch that I really want to show you. Okay, so I have had a sweater, like my only UFO basically of my sweater collection. That was the Arctic Light sweater, and it was just glorious and amazing, and I really loved it, but it was way too heavy and I wouldn't have had enough yarn to finish it. So I was like, nah, maybe it's just not meant to be. So I don't know if I'll revisit that one day. I have the pattern, I don't know, we'll see. But I've had an idea on what I wanted to do with the remaining yarn. Look at this. So this yarn is super washed. I bought it in Florence, so you can see it's quite stretchy and malleable and not too structured. But I love this, how the patterning looks. And I don't know if you can recognize, but I swatched originally for the Chantal sweater. Like, I didn't have to buy the pattern to swatch because it's just a slip stitch pattern, like 1x1 slip stitch. How's that called? Like, it's just a giant heel flap. I just did this and I measured, and I don't know if I'm on gauge for the Chantal one, but, or maybe I am, but maybe instead of the Chantal, I'll make she has another one, more knit. She has another one that is more recent, which is called, I think, the Carlotta. I mean, I don't know how the, you know, original language would pronounce this, but I think it's the Carlotta sweater. And because basically the Chantal sweater is, I want to do the V-neck one, which is a V-neck raglan, but the Carlotta one, or whatever that one, it's a saddle shoulder V-neck, and I love a saddle shoulder. Like, I love the contrast and how it looks and how it works up. It has a ton of hands to weave in, but I don't mind. So yeah, either the Chantal one or the Carlotta, whatever, but I'll think about that once I finish something. I also have another whip on the go, which is the Stockholm sweater V-neck by Petite Knit, but I haven't made that much progress since last time, and it's honestly a bit boring to watch, so I'm not going to show you in this video, so you're welcome. So this is the swatch. It keeps curling up and it's a bit weird because the gauge, or like the row gauge of the garter stitch, like, I didn't think about this because I also keep my swatches to be looking nice, but this is a bit weird because, like, I don't mind it curling up at the bottom, but it's just weird at the sides because when you slip stitch, oh my god, sorry, the row gauge shrinks, so you have this, like, this is longer than this, so it just like flares out and it looks kind of weird. But I just really like it. I really like it. I really, really like it. So yeah, I think this is all potentially for this video. you know, it's a bit shorter than usual and maybe a bit less structured, but I have been very, very busy with uni work and life things and dance practice and test knitting and all of that. Like, I have a lot of things going on, and that's why I haven't posted a video in a while, probably more than what I've wanted. But yeah, so yeah, this is less structured and just to like give you guys an update. So I don't know. I feel like I'm done. It feels kind of weird, but so if you enjoyed watching, consider subscribing or giving this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I'm really trying to post more frequently there. And also join the Cal for the Sandro Pullover if you want, and let me know what you're working on during this video, because you guys have just really great taste, and I I don't know what I'm saying. Oh my god, I think it's I had my Spanish exam when, like, yesterday, 2 days ago, and maybe like something in, like, maybe that messed up something in the linguistic area of my brain, and I cannot remember the words in other languages, but I always discover some very nice patterns from the comments. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for just the support in general. I'm feeling very, like, weirdly enough, I'm feeling very satisfied in general. So I don't know, if you want to share with me how you're feeling in this period, I would love to know you guys better. So if you want to share that, please do. And in general, I hope your knitting is a success, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye.